Jai Sri Krishna. This is Kavita from Hyderabad, and you're listening to the podcast of Bhagavad Gita, episode 4, for the people who love. I'm here to share the words given by Sri Krishna to Arjuna. Do hear me out till the end and like, share, and subscribe to get more episodes of this podcast. So let's start. Jai Sri Krishna. Bhagavad Gita has 18 chapters, each chapter has various slokas, which will detailed in this podcast. This episode 4th will be about chapter 4 and 42 slokas. जय श्री कृष्ण. श्रीमद् भगवद गीता अथ चतुरोध्याय ज्ञान कर्म संन्यास योगा. According to Lord Krishna, Jnana Karma Sannyasa Yoga is beautifully decorated with 42 verses. In this chapter, Sri Krishna is explaining Arjuna about the process to acquire transcendental knowledge. In answer to query of Arjuna about the cause of all sinful activities, Sri Krishna explains that lust is the only cause for it. Moving towards the solution of it, Sri Krishna says that one must study the mind through spiritual intelligence and by the acquired spiritual strength. One can easily conquer the lust. This chapter shows the method to acquire this spiritual intelligence. Jai Sri Krishna. 4th chapter, 1st sloka. Sri Bhagavan Vacha. I taught this eternal yogic science to Vivasvan, who shared with Manu, and Manu passed it on to Ikshvaku. 4th chapter, 2nd sloka. The supreme science in this way was handed down to kings in continuous tradition, but Arjuna, with time the link was broken and the yogic science got lost. 4th chapter, 3rd sloka. Today I am revealing to you the same ancient science of yoga. It is secret science that you, being my friend and devotee, are qualified to hear and understand. 4th chapter, 4th sloka. Arjuna Vacha. How is it possible that you instructed Vivasvan when the fact is that Vivasvan was born long before you? 4th chapter, 5th sloka. Sri Bhagavan Vacha. O destroyer of enemies, both you and I have taken many births before. I remember them all, whereas you do not. 4th chapter, 6th sloka. I am the controller of all beings, although I am birthless and eternal, yet I appear in the material world by the power of my energies. 4th chapter, 7th sloka. Whenever there is a gross decline in dharma and escalation of adharma, I appear myself, O descendant of Bharat. 4th chapter, 8th sloka. I appear in every millennium to protect the pious, to destroy the wicked and to establish dharma again. 4th chapter, 9th sloka. O Arjuna, he reaches my spiritual abode and does not take birth again this world, if he see divinity in my birth and activities. 4th chapter, 10th sloka. Many have reached me in the past by surrendering to me, being free of attachments, fear, anger, and their mind absorbed in me and purified in the fire of knowledge. 4th chapter, 11th sloka. In whatever way people surrender to me, I reciprocate accordingly. O son of Partha, whether circumstances, everyone is on my path only. 4th chapter, 12th sloka. Those who desire material success in the world perform sacrifices and worship the devatas. It is the easier to achieve material rewards from them. 4th chapter, 13th sloka. The 4 socio-religious divisions are created by me. The division is based on the 3 gunas and the karmas, and though I am the creator, I am eternal and transcendental to it. 4th chapter, 14th sloka. I am not affected by any action, nor do I desire the fruits of action. Just understanding this truth about me will free one from karmic bondage. 4th chapter, 15th sloka. Ancient seekers of liberation knew this and performed actions. You too should follow their example and perform your duty. 4th chapter, 16th sloka. What is action and what is inaction is a most confusing subject. Now hear my explanation on what action is all about and free yourself from the bondage of sinful reactions. 4th chapter, 17th sloka. Even the wise are confused in understanding what is prescribed action, wrong action, and inaction. Karma is deeply profound and mystical subject. 4th chapter, 18th sloka. The wise can identify action in inaction and inaction in action. They are yogics who have mastered their actions. 4th chapter, 19th sloka. Such a wise person is a sage who acts without any desires, and his karmic reactions are burnt in the fire of knowledge. 4th chapter, 20th sloka. Detached from the results of actions, he is always satisfied and independent. He is active without any fruitive activity. Fourth chapter, 21st sloka. He is in control of his mind and intelligence with no perception of possession, performing only necessary actions that incur no sin. Fourth chapter, 22nd sloka. He is content, free of envy and duality, steady in success and failure. Thus, he is free of karmic reactions even when constantly engaged in work. Fourth chapter, 23rd sloka. He who is detached and firmly in transcendental knowledge is released from all karma and is himself transcendental. Fourth chapter, 24th sloka. For one whose thoughts are completely absorbed in God, all his offerings are also of spiritual nature. It is easy for him to attain God. Fourth chapter, 20th sloka. Some prefer to make material offerings to devatas while a few sacrifice themselves in the fire of the Supreme. Fourth chapter, 26th sloka. In the fire of the controlled mind, some sacrifice the sense of hearing while some sacrifice objects of sense gratification at the fire of senses. Fourth chapter, 27th sloka. Some offer the functions of their organs and the vital air in the fire of self-control. Fourth chapter, 28th sloka. Some sacrifice their wealth in charity, some offer austerities, some follow Ashtanga Yoga, and some take vows to study Vedas and cultivate knowledge. Fourth chapter, 29th sloka. Some practice breath control by sacrificing inhalation unto exhalation and exhalation unto inhalation. Some restrain both inhalation and exhalation to reach a state of trance, and some give up intake of food sacrificing their vital force. Fourth chapter, 30th sloka. Such sacrifice acts have the power to cleanse impurities. Enjoying the sacrifice remnants, they attain the supreme abode. Fourth chapter, 31st sloka. O best of Gurus, without a life of sacrifice, it is impossible to be happy in this life. Live alone the next. Fourth chapter, 32nd sloka. The Vedas describe different sacrifices suitable for different categories of work. Know them and be liberated from material bondage. Fourth chapter, 33rd sloka. O conqueror of enemies, O Partha, higher than material sacrifice is sacrifice performed in knowledge, because that works concludes with transcendental knowledge. Fourth chapter, 34th sloka. The wise who are self-realized can impart these truths to you if you approach them with humility in a mood of submissive curiosity and genuine service. Fourth chapter, 35th sloka. Enlightened by a guru, you will be free of all ignorance and see all living beings as sharing a common spiritual core. Being in me, a part of me, O son of Pandu. Fourth chapter, 36th sloka. This boat of transcendental knowledge can help you cross the ocean of material existence, however big a sinner you may be. Fourth chapter, 37th sloka. O Arjuna, just as a fire burns wood to ashes, so does knowledge burn away all karmic reactions. Fourth chapter, 30th sloka. Nothing is more purifying than the divine knowledge. A mind purified by yoga receives this knowledge with time. Fourth chapter, 39th sloka. Faith and self-control lead to success in this endeavor, and once successful, one attains everlasting peace. Fourth chapter, 40th sloka. The faithless doubting the scriptures perish eternally. They remain lost, finding happiness nowhere, in this world or the other world. Fourth chapter, 41st sloka. One becomes free of karmic bondage. O Dhananjaya, when one renounces fruitive actions, dispels doubts by knowledge, and is self-realized. Fourth chapter, 42nd sloka. O Bharata, slash your doubts with the sword of knowledge and stand up once again to fight equipped with yogic knowledge. Jai Sri Krishna. In this chapter, Sri Bhagavan says the real Guru is Atman. In any spiritual discourse, the Guru can get across only to the extent he has unfolded the self. In every age, an enlightened soul appears whenever dharma, righteousness declines, and there is an upsurge in adharma, unrighteousness. He protects the good, destroys evil, and resurrects value in society. Action does not bind you, wrong action does. Right action is one that is consecrated to a higher ideal. It liberates you. Right action emerges from intellectual wisdom, not mere whims and fancies of the mind. From a calm mind, not plagued by worry over past failures or anxiety for future results. Jai Sri Krishna.